Are Thursday boots worth it 2 years later? Dude, they cost 199 bucks. Of course they are. They're so cheap. If they still exist at all 2 years later, it's a great deal. Like, the bar is low for $200 boots. If they were 400, I don't understand the concern, but it's such a low risk purchase already, especially given there are zero competitors at this price point. Fortunately, they aren't just passable 2 years later. I think they look a lot better than when I first got them. This is Nick at Stridewise.com, by the way. It's like a website and YouTube channel about men's boots and high-end casual clothes. Please subscribe. Today, we're reviewing the Thursday Captain Boots leather, construction, fit, and price after lots and lots and lots of wear. When I first did a review of my pair of Thursday Boot Company's most popular boot, the Captain, I said in the cons section that the company was just founded less than 10 years ago, and one of the potential downsides is that we didn't have a great idea of how the boots would look after many, many years. Like, the company was just too young. There are no 10-year-old Thursday boots out there. Like, there just aren't. So that can cause some people to lose a little bit of confidence. You just have to take it on faith that they're going to age well. But for my money, given the materials and the durability and the construction, I really think these are gonna last. So to help balance the scales, I decided to do my part and wear the hell out of these boots to see what happens to them. This here is the brand's terracotta color, which looks a little bit like their popular Arizona Adobe leather, but it's much softer. Arizona Adobe is part of the rugged and resilient line of their boots, which means that it's very tough and burly. Terracotta is considerably softer and more comfy out of the box. Like, you don't have such a big break-in as you do with Arizona Adobe. Now, I took some footage of these terracottas before I conditioned them with Venetian shoe cream and afterwards, and man, these boots look really, really good after 2 years. Like, after adding those nourishing waxes to the leather, I just think these look like some of the coolest boots on earth. I think the leather has aged really beautifully. The leathers, honestly, are one of the biggest upsides of the brand because there are so many of them available for this boot. There are well over a dozen right now, including Horween's Natural Chrome XL. Like, Chrome XL is America's favorite boot leather. It's massively popular. There's that Arizona Adobe I mentioned and Black Matte. Those are the most popular models right now. There are some seasonal exclusives, so you can pick the leather that speaks to you the most. Some of Thursday's leathers, like the classic brown color, don't have quite as much variation in the color if you want something more subtle, while this terracotta here has really deepened in color with time. It's got some serious patina. The kind of undulation of color has become noticeable, and they've become the kind of boots that people, I think, hope their boots will become like when they buy them. Boots are a bit like jeans in that regard, right? They look cooler the longer you wear them, if they're good quality anyway. Now, it's not like the boots are flawless. If I were really into making these as beautiful as possible, I would have gotten some sandpaper and smoothed out like the leather midsole and the stacked leather heel here. Like, these boots have gotten like a little bit rough with the wear, of course, but you know, just because they've been worn so much, that's easy to do. I thought it would be more honest if I showed it in its more unmanicured state. The leather, yeah, on the midsole, that does dry out. So, you know, you do want to also condition the midsole here in addition to the leather upper itself. So yeah, I haven't taken perfect care of these, but you know, I've done my due diligence of conditioning them every 6 months or so, and that really helps to bring out the luster and improve that beautiful component of aging that we call patina in the world of boots. So I guess here is where I'll talk a bit about the design in case you're new here and haven't seen much about these boots, and if that's you, you'd better subscribe, I swear to God. So this brand was founded with the plan to make boots that aren't chunky work boots and aren't dainty dress boots. That's like the whole MO of the brand, and also boots that aren't expensive. It's possible if you've only worn sneakers or your only boots have been Doc Martens or Timberlands, you might be shocked that I'm calling $199 inexpensive. But those boots are garbage. Doc Martens and, I mean, Timberlands are actually, they're good for what they are. They're insulated, they're waterproof, they're pretty cool looking, they're a cultural icon and everything, but they're not resolable, and the leather doesn't look great with a lot of wear. And they're not the kind of boot you think of when you think men's leather boot, right? Something that's tough, looks better with each passing year, can be resoled as well. Typically, those sorts of boots cost well over $300. Thursdays are somehow under $200, and they have been since the company was founded in 2014. Like, apparently they're inflation proof. I mean, the company never does sales because they can't afford to, I think. Like, I think the product is so inexpensive that the profit margins are too thin for sales. I guess you might want to consider the downside, but the value is bonkers, is what I'm trying to say here. And like I started saying earlier, this is also a different type of boot. It's like a hybrid dress boot work boot. So it's slimmer than work boots, but not as slim or fragile as dress boots. And this concept kind of launched a new kind of casual boot that I've seen a lot of other companies imitate. It's really good for city guys and people who need to be on their feet all day, which is the point of boots, right? If you're someone who spends all day on their feet in spongy, soft sneakers, they're actually not great, especially as you get older and older. Like, they're not supportive and stable in quite the right way, typically anyway. And after enough time, it'll cause you foot pain to be on your feet all day, right? Boots are preferred by working guys because in addition to being more protective, they're better at stabilizing the foot, providing arch support, minimizing rolled ankles, foot stability is better, all that kind of stuff. That's kind of why people tend to wear boots. These have all those traditional construction cues, but it's executed in like a modern way, a more modern way than like any other boot company, at least until this company came along, and then other people kind of started copying the aesthetic. All right, but let's talk about the comfort. How has the comfort changed as the boots have been worn in? I've had these for 2 years. These boots are unusual in that instead of the classic construction that most heritage boots have, which is typically something like a leather or rubber midsole, cork filling, and leather insole, they've added the kind of shock absorbing foam that you find in sneakers. So it's not like huge and spongy or anything, but it does mean the shock absorption is a lot better than Red Wing boots, for example, which are cool boots. I've got a pair of them here, but they tend to feel like you're walking on hardwood, at least a lot more than these boots do here. Now, as time has gone on, and I guess hundreds of thousands of steps have been taken in these boots, the foam has compressed as the cork and the leather underfoot have molded to the shape of my foot. So the boot has done that thing people usually want from a boot. It's turned itself into like a custom boot. That's what a lot of people love about boots. Like, the heat and pressure of all the walking has formed a shoe that's really formed for my individual foot. But what's even cooler is that the shank has stayed in place. If you're not aware, a shank is a piece of hard material, usually steel, sometimes wood or leather, that's inserted under the arch here to help give stability and arch support to the boot. And as the footbed and midsole have formed to my foot at the ankle and forefoot, the arch has stayed where it started, meaning the foot's gotten deeper into the boot. Like, as I've gotten deeper into the boot, the arch has stayed where it was, so the support has actually improved with time. There aren't many things that get better with age, but a pair of boots, this pair of boots in particular, is one of them. So the main takeaway here is that it feels more custom as it ages. The very slight springy softness that you get in the EVA foam when you first get it, it's something that goes away exactly, but the foam does compress a bit over time as these morph into custom-made boots, which is a trade-off that most people are happy with, and the shock absorption is still a lot better than boots without that foam at all. In summary, there aren't many things that get better with age, but this pair of boots is one of them. Yeah, that's my review, man. That's my 2-year review of these very simpy boots. I've ordered a few more of them since then, and I'm pumped to see how they age as well, especially the Arizona Adobe, which everyone's really crazy about. I've linked them in the description below if you want to check them out. Let me know in the comments which of the leathers you like the best from Thursday, because I have so many of them, and subscribe as well. That's it. See you later.